Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and there's been a little bit of buzz in the community for quite some time now about one particular topic. It's not just MTG Finance, because these product launches were very widespread, and a lot of people remember, well, the couple reprint sets that were horrible and the couple that were amazing. Not much in between. So the question is, what about now? Now that we're like 2+ years after most of them, have any of the prices gone back up to even the original MSRP, which was about $240 a box? And out of all the ones in this list that I'm covering, one is going to absolutely blow your mind. So let's start with the most recent one, which is Ultimate Masters. Very obvious one here. If you wanted to go on the open market, I mean the real open market, eBay, not some inflated fake numbers from TCG Player or not some full-blown retail price from Card Kingdom. I mean, the real price of real people really selling the boxes that you can pick them up for right now today, not some average nothing. So the cost of one box sealed with the box topper of Ultimate Masters is $350, which is very not surprising. I would almost expect it to be more like $375. And this is no surprise because it's being propped up by a $70 Liliana of the Veil, Cavern of Souls is $65, Snapcaster Mage is of course $50, Karn Liberated is $45, kind of surprising, Tarmogoyf is only $45, that's surprising in the other way, Bitter Blossom is $40 for now, Mana Vault is $40, Kozilek is $33, hello, Demonic Tutor is $30, Ancient Tomb is $28, Noble Hierarch is a mere $28, Ulamog is $28, Dark Depths is $25, Phyrexian Altar is $23, Temporal Manipulation is $21, Emrakul is $20, Mikaeus is $20, Urborg is $20, unfortunately, which sucks because I want some. Caracas is only $18, told you that wasn't a good card. Then Vengevine is $18. I'm just going to stop at page 1 because they just keep going. The number of cards above the approximate, what was it, $12.50 a booster, whatever it averaged to cost or pseudo MSRP, it was a little complicated. Basically, in my opinion, they were $10 a pack, and then they just added a box topper and upped the MSRP to match. That's what they did, in my opinion. But regardless, there are countless cards that are above the per pack cost that you could pull, and most of them are double the pack cost. So yeah, $350 a box, not surprising. So let's step back a bit to Iconic Masters. I still don't remember what order those two came out in. It was just a blur of disasters. But Iconic Masters, which people are trying to ditch for like $160 and change, which is technically a loss. I think at the distributor level, they were like between $140 and $145, but then you've got like 11% eBay and PayPal fees, and then a flat shipping price of like $11 to $12 a box. Yeah, $160 and change was a loss. I think he had to charge like $178 to break even. And people weren't. They just wanted them gone. Nobody wanted them. There was not enough value. But most importantly, they sold too many to certain people who just absolutely dumped them online. Not even people. It's one person. You guys know who I'm talking about. But also they appear to have printed too much in general. So now that we're like this far away from the release of Iconic Masters, is it finally good? Well, surprisingly, it's $190 a box. So it's not like we're at $250. It's not like we're even flirting with $240. It's not like we've even crossed $200. But, I mean, there's a little bit of money to be made. So it has just barely crept into profit margin territory. And that really isn't surprising because, once again, look at the top 10 cards-ish. Really just the cards that aren't a loss. The big ones were Thoughtseize and Mana Drain. So Mana Drain, $90, cool. Wasn't at the time. And Thoughtseize with the special art, $38. Then you got Avacyn at $35. Aether Vial, not a fan of that card, $28. Then Horizon Canopy, okay, cool, $28. But then Cryptic Command, that's $25. Elish Norn, solid card, $25. Archangel of Thune, $21. Consecrated Sphinx, $21. Vorinclex, that's $21. Sheldred, that's $20. Necropotence, unfortunately, fell to $18. Supreme Verdict, shockingly $18. Sarah Ascendant, $15. Kiki Jiki, I'm surprised he's still $13. And then they kind of go down from there. There's a couple $12 ones. And then the rest are basically, you wouldn't be that excited to pull it. You basically break even. So honestly, with a lineup like that, with prices like that, I'd almost expect it to be like $210, but it just isn't. Iconic was one of the better ones, though. Let's jump to Masters 25. Now, this makes no sense. Masters 25, you cannot find it below $198, so basically about $200. So that's $10 more, which doesn't make sense because the lineup is truly terrible. I think it's just the top ones that are inflating it. You've got $100 for Jace the Mind Sculptor, Chalice of the Void, obviously $50, not a lot of those floating around. Ensnaring Bridge, a card which needs to be banned from every format ever, $45. Imperial Recruiter, $38, obviously. Azusa, she's amazing, $30. Then my personal favorite, Phyrexian Obliterator, $23. Love him. Pact of Negation is only 18, Animar is 15, Summoner's Pact is 15, Vendilion Click is only 15, Blood Moon is only 13, and then they're all crap from there, basically. That's not very many, and they're not very high, but I assume the hundreds and the 50s in there are propping it up a little bit. I mean, you pull one Jace, you paid for half the box, it's just you can't even expect one Jace per box, not even close. So I don't know what's really going on with that with such a terrible lineup of profitable cards. I mean, maybe the foils are a different story, but personally, I suspect that Wizards just printed less of it than Iconic. You never know, factors like the fun level of drafting it might be a factor for who buys it and for what price, who knows. So just to throw it in, because it's interesting, Conspiracy Take the Crown is $190 a box. And remember, that stuff was the same price as a normal standard product, so what is it, like $141 full-blown retail a box, but realistically like $110 a box? Yeah, that's almost doubled, and I mean, there's like crazy cards in there. I mean, Expropriate is $45, you got Selvala at $35, Queen Marchesa at $26, Recruiter at $20, Berserk at $16, Kaya is $15, Phyrexian Arena is at $12.99. Show and Tell, of course, $12.99. You got some 12s, you got some 11s, you got some 10s. You keep scrolling, $6.50, but that's double the price of a $2.99 pack. Yeah, I know they're more commonly seen as $3.99 if you buy them individually, but I mean, if you buy a whole box, it's not that much above $90 normally. So I mean, even Platinum Angel is $6, Ghostly Prison is $5, and all of those you'd be more than happy to open because they're above the cost of a booster. So those are what's holding that up. So you don't need to print, $30, $40, $50 cards like you do in Master sets to have this set absolutely take off. I still feel like $190 is high, but boy, was not a lot of this printed. So the people who still want to draft it and the people who are opening this for Eternal cards like for Commander, yeah. So moving backward even further, let's go to the original Modern Masters 3, aka Modern Masters 2017 edition, which was only about 2 years ago. How did they screw it up so badly so quickly? That is $378 per box. Very unsurprising because that one was successful the whole way. And well, let's look at the top cards. Scalding Tarn, which is a ridiculous $80. My God, reprint it, Wizards. Liliana, $70. Misty Rainforest, $70. Verdant Catacomb, $70. Cavern of Souls, $60. Snapcaster is $55. Crater Hoof Behemoth is $40. Tarmogoyf is $40. Marsh Flats, still $35. Arid Mesa, $33. Damnation, $28. You can never get too many copies of that. Cyclonic Rift, $25, it deserves it. Linvala's $23, Goblin Guide is still $18, Blood Moon is $15, Voice of Resurgence, luckily $15, that used to be more. Death Shadow, $13, apparently people are still playing that. Grizzlebrand is $12, Past in Flames is $11, Sphinx's Revelation is $11, oh gosh, I hope nobody plays that. And yeah, beyond that, it pretty much is like a break even. So that is a lot of cards worth a lot of money. I mean, that's just a list of like $30 plus cards, which that's a 3-to-1 on an open. So solid lineup, solid print numbers. It never had a negative reception. It was just a good product. All they need to do is make another one of those and sell it. I don't know why they dropped not Modern Masters, is the Masters name, the product. Although I think we all know that the mystery booster is just Eternal Masters 2. Speaking of that, the one that's going to blow your mind, Eternal Masters 2. Because everybody remembers the last thing about that set being, oh my gosh, Wizards tanked the price, what a garbage set. EMA was going for like $140, $150 online. People were just fire sailing it because quite a bit after it came out. I want to say, I know it was around Christmas, so I want to say it was like 2 months or so, maybe even 3 months. Like it felt like a long time after the first set went out, and they sold out because they didn't they didn't print anywhere near enough of it. So yeah, a second wave went out for Christmas, allegedly. That was one of the reasons. And the other stated reason was, well, it was so lucrative, so expensive, so valuable right off the bat. I mean, that crap was going for like $290 on eBay like the next day after it came out. That people who wanted to actually draft it did not get to draft it. So they're like, okay, we're sending out a second wave. Like normally we wouldn't do this. But then people were like, this is a limited product with a limited print run, which doesn't mean anything. It's limited by how many they want to make whenever they want to make it. There's no cutoff, there's no guarantee. They didn't sign anything, you didn't sign anything. So, despite the fact that the second wave was pretty minuscule, people just emergency sold it. I mean, it crashed overnight. People dropped the price of singles on buy list. They dropped it on retail. Everybody was like, race to the bottom. We already made our money on this. Let's not get stuck holding the remainder because this second wave is going to ruin everything. The only reason that came true is because people thought that and acted accordingly. The second wave was nowhere near big enough. And that's evidenced by the fact that it is $400 a box right now. $400. That is higher than it was on release day. Now, this isn't apples to apples because there was a $100 box topper in Ultimate Masters. Keep that in mind. But Eternal Masters is still $50 higher than Ultimate Masters. It always was a good set. People are just stupid and investors are skittish. And alarmist idiots in the MTG finance community and occasionally people who have large reaches on, Reddit and forums and Twitter and we'll just say YouTube. I think we know who I'm talking about. Multiple YouTube channels actually, so now you really know who I'm talking about. When they say, oh, reprint, the sky's falling, get rid of it. Everybody's gonna die. This is terrible. This is the worst thing. How could Wizards do this? Oh my gosh. And then people listen. Yeah, no, it's $400 now, so you're all wrong and stupid. Then again, with the absolute vacuum of information we get from Wizards about the release of anything, they didn't just say, we're printing a second wave and it's 10% the size of the first one. Nobody would have lost their minds if that's what they said. It may have actually been about that big. I know it wasn't the same size. Rumor is it was like 25 to 50%. So dumping that much more into the market, once again, the evidence that wasn't too many is that it's $400 a box right now. Also, the card selection was amazing. Nobody really disagreed with that. So if somebody's screaming, oh, this is going to crash the market, sell yours now. And the opposing view is nothing because Wizards is tight-lipped about anything about volumes. Awfully hard to base your opinion on something else, but what I do believe at the time I was saying, let there be a second wave. Have you seen the prices? I mean, I told people it's going to drop, but it's not going to drop low enough that you have to, get crazy about it. If you got some, sell it. Yeah, because, it was over $3 a box. But, yes, a second wave is going to drop it, but I told people the singles in it are way too good to have the price drop permanently. It will swing back. Even when it went absolutely down the toilet, yeah, I was kind of, mad about the timing of it and the effect of it, but once the dust settled and I saw what was really going on, I figured, yeah, people just overreacted. So that's why I wanted to make this video, mostly to check up on EMA and Masters on Iconic. Because I checked on Iconic 6 months later and it was still in the 140s. That was pretty funny. So in Eternal Masters, we've got a $210 Mana Crypt, a $120 Force of Will. I mean, come on, people. $100 Jace the Mind Sculptor. $85 Vampiric Tutor. I'm not even talking foil. Chrome Mox is $40. Sylvan Library is $40. Sensei's Divining Top is $35. Enlightened Tutor, $33. Have you heard of any of these cards getting reprinted lately? I haven't. Toxic Deluge is $30. Wasteland is $27. Hello, Wasteland. Maze of Freaking Ith, $23. Dak Faden, $22. Sneak Attack, I have not heard of that card. That's weird, $22. Necropotence, $21. That's kind of surprising. Natural Order, $18. Isochron Scepter, one of my favorite cards, $16. Caracas, $16. Argothian Enchantress is still $14. Maelstrom Wanderer is $14. I think I have some of those. Mystical Tutor is $13. Let's see, then we got Entomb, which is $11. I mean, that's still solid. Green Sun Zenith, $11. Ashnod's Altar is $10. And even Gamble is $9. Winter Orb is $9. And then past that, it gets pretty bad. So that is so many cards at such a high price. We're talking 10, 20 times the cost of a pack, that if you even get one per box, you're good. Those cards, combined contribution to the value, drive the price up so huge, it's unbelievable. I mean, when you're talking $10 a pack and you're going into $80 range, I mean, remember I said 20 to 30 is good. That's 2 to 3 times your value. There you go. 8x, 10x, 20x, yeah, you're going to pay for the box. So I officially deem Eternal Masters the most overreacted to Sky is Falling chicken little idiocy release ever, that the community completely mishandled. I would not say that Wizards didn't mishandle it. The lack of information didn't help, and all the conspiracy theories about it didn't help. I think the whole shaking of customer confidence because they said it's a limited run, waited a weirdly long amount of time, and then re-released it, that dropped confidence in all Masters products, and that might have been part of why they got rid of the Masters product line completely. Although with UMA, they could have brought it right back, but if they did, they'd have to say, oh, remember when we said that that was the last one? Yeah, a year later, like literally when we would have done another one, we're doing another one just because it made money. Oops, we're taking a mulligan on Masters 25 and Iconic. Nah, it's too close. You'd have to be like 3 years out for them to say, you know what, people really liked it, so because the fans asked, we're going to bring it back. If they did it 6 months to a year after the release of Ultimate Masters, people would have been like, no, it's not because of the community or nostalgia. No, you're just releasing it because money. I mean, you finally didn't screw one up. Good for you. Now you're going to try to do it again because money once again. So in all likelihood, I think that whatever special set, aka the draft set, that we're going to see coming up soon here, it's going to very closely resemble a Masters set. It's going to be really reprint heavy. It's probably going to have some staples in it. I have a feeling it'll just be Conspiracy 3. I mean, the name equals money in everybody's head because everybody knows Conspiracy's $190 a box. It's hot. It's still blowing up right now. So people are going to be like, ooh, Conspiracy, that means money and value. Like, even though it's in name only. And if they went with that, they could also put a ton of really draft friendly, $30 power cards in there. I mean, it's really hard to take a draft set and put money in it. Then again, FYI, Battle Bond right now is between $175 and $190 a box. Yeah, so basically the same as Conspiracy 2. So yeah, not that hard. I mean, it's a mix of reprints and new cards. So you can print new cards that people want for Commander and Modern. Well, I guess it wouldn't be Modern legal. And then you could also do reprints that people need for Modern and Commander. Just make sure they're draftable and don't ruin the draft experience. The problem is what ruins the draft experience is, oh, I want to pull this $30, $40, $50 card, but I also want to pull the card I actually need to win. Crap, what do I do? Which, if your store doesn't let you swap the pack and basically just buy another pack to replace it and pocket the pack, they should. All the drafts I've been to, you just say, I'm keeping this pack, and then you walk up, buy another one, and draft that one. And you can only do that once per draft. Otherwise, I will spike that draft and pull the money card. Okay, the card is usually worth more than the entire prize money, prize pool, whatever. Yeah, I'm on that side of Goifgate. Look that one up. I see money, I pull money, okay? So anyway, I really think we're going to see either Battle Bond 2 or Conspiracy 3, most likely Conspiracy 3, and I think they're going to really, really, really go hard on the value just to sell it, and then they're going to print it to death. I don't think that they'll have the balls to like crank up the price on it, so they're going to make up for it in just sales volume, and they're just going to really tank the price of the cards because, they can be less than cautious now that they're not doing 2 or more master sets per year. There basically are no reprint products. Oh, by the way, this, what are they called? The Mystery Booster might be the draft set. I don't remember. They didn't really specify, and I don't remember what time of year it comes out. I want to say right around when it's coming out. So we might have to wait a bit, but, I mean, it's been a while since Battle Bond, so something's coming around at some point, and I think it's going to be Draft Masters, we'll call it. And honestly, if they don't do something, we are going to keep seeing $70, $80, $90 fetch lands. I mean, there are certain cards in Modern that we need reprints of, and we're way overdue for. The prices have gotten worse than they ever were. And Wizards, I don't know if you knew this or not, but if you reprint those cards and sell them to us, you get the money for them. Not the secondary market, not some seller, not some single seller on the internet, not some warehouser, not some scalper, not some investor, no middlemen. You collect the money from the value of those singles if you make a reprint set. So make a reprint set. The players get cheaper cards, so they win. You pocket several $1,000,000, so you win. Douchebag card hoarding investor assholes lose. So that's a win-win-win. Yeah, maybe it's time to bring Masters back or do something identical to it. And call it something else. I don't know, call it Mark's Lucky Box of Super Reprint Cards. I don't care. So that's about it for this video. Hopefully you appreciated this very interesting look back, or I should say update to older stories. And if you have basically any of these, it's a wonderful time to sell. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.